And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. A bit of a shorter break this time, but I hope you enjoyed the brutal OST. And we have returned with our third match of the evening. I say third, really fourth match, I guess. You were able to catch the tail end of Clem versus Hydra earlier, and it was an amazing game on Ghost River. And now we're diving into something different, a TvZ. And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Site Delta, we have our French Terran player, the Red Terran, representing Team Liquid. It is Clem. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the Swedish Zerg player, the Blue Zerg, representing Team Brody. It is Fjant. Let us go. Again, we were able to feature Fjant earlier, but it was a ZvZ against Eon Blue. The ZvZ matchup can be very, very different, a little bit more chaotic and intense. And now we're going to be settling into this ZvT. I mean, ZvT can likewise be intense, especially leading into the mid-game. For the time being, ooh, Clem, hello. Going for the low ground racks. Okay. Already something a little bit different. Second SCV is moving down, and I believe there's going to be a 2-racks Reaper opener out of Clem. Does enjoy mixing it in from time to time, especially on a map like Site Delta, where you do have a stronger defensive setup here at your ramp, just because you have a ramp to begin with. For those that are curious, a ramp into the natural is a little bit more of a unique feature nowadays. It is a little bit less common than what it once was. Now it's only on maps like Site Delta, Post Youth, as well as Amphion. I think those are the 3 maps that have a ramp leading into the natural. And because of that, it's a little bit harder to be too aggressive. It does mean that you're a little bit safer going for an opener like this than you would be on other maps. So 2-racks Reaper here out of Clem. The goal of this build is to be aggressive, to contain your opponent to deny the 3rd base, ideally, and contain your opponent to 2 bases for as long as possible. There are 3-racks Reaper variations where you can go for a hidden 3rd racks, like behind the mineral line or further back in the main. Just try to keep it hidden and to catch your opponent off guard. But we can see 2-racks Reaper into an expand. This is not an all-in, just an aggressive opener. Reapers are moving out. Overlord will soon confirm the rack setup. Likewise, Fjant will also have to confirm whether or not there is a 3rd racks and the timing of the 3rd CC. And back at home, we do have to prioritize gas. There we go. Link speed is already on the way for Fjant. Queens are in production. Reaper does dip in. So far, good control. You have to try to minimize losses. Minimize Ling losses here at the natural. As Reaper does get 1 Ling. Oh, gets a 2nd Ling as well. Good pickups here from Clem. 2 Lings go down. It's going to mean Fjant is that much more vulnerable. Clem, he checks both 3rd base locations, confirms that there is no 3rd, and I'm sure he's content. I'm sure he's content already with his damage. We'll see if he can get anything else. Again, it's only going to be 3 Reapers. We're not making any additional Reapers. We get eyes on the drone. Drone goes down. And again, we're containing. That's the goal here. The Queen is getting low. Oh, the Queen! No! Oh, Queen goes down. It's a massive pickup here. Ay, ay, ay. Back at home, Clem getting a 3rd CC. My apologies, Clem. Oh, yeah, getting a 3rd CC. Double expanding. Overextends for a moment, gets another Ling. Doesn't lose any Reapers, not yet. Fjant's bleeding out a lot here. Behind this, going for a fast Roach Roin. Rushing into the Roach Warren to try to get some kind of counter damage, bearing in mind that because of this opener, we're going to have delayed factory production, or, I mean, again, working towards a starport, working towards a 2-1-1 follow-up. Stim is on the way. Once again, the 3rd is denied. Oh my god. This is brutal. Ideally, you would have 3 queen. You'd have your additional Queen. You can move out. You can zone away the Reapers. You can expand. But this is a little bit later here for Fjant. In total, that was 3 drone kills, a Queen, and 7 Lings. Now finally we can expand. Clem going to apply some pressure. We should be able to save this. And back at home working on that sim timing. 16 Marines, double medevac. There's the auto swap. As those medevacs are on the horizon, so we can be active on the map. Even more active, I should say. Feels white hair, man. Oh no. Calm down, easy, Phil. Not like this. This is why I remind everyone that Fjant is like 13 years old. He's like, he's a little bit older. I think Fjant, he's like 18 now, right? Question mark? He's getting there. He's getting there. as we're going for the Nidus Worm. We're going all in. At this point, this makes sense. Basically, because Fjant lost so much, we have to go all in. Like, getting into a longer macro game against Clem, we're just already behind. Reapers bust into the main. Roach is revealed, but here comes the Nidus into the main base. Clem doesn't have eyes on this, but he checks. He does get eyes on this. He checks. He confirms. He shuts down the Nidus. Boys are being pulled just in case. And the Nidus will not finish. We can throw down a backup Nidus here at the natural base. Reaper still being active. We get 8 drone kills. Fjant is getting pulled apart. Ay, ay, ay. Reapers go down. No backup Nidus. And now Fjant is droning, but we're down to 18 drones. Yeah, there's no droning. It's not possible. We can't macro out of this. It's just not possible at this point. Not anymore. Another Nidus Worm. It's not going to finish. Clem is all over this. Shuts it down time and time again. Go back of Nidus in between the bases. And we have to try to push it out. GG gets called. We cannot even try. And Clem takes game 1. GG. Very impressive stuff there out of Clem. Basically, because of how much damage he did early on, because he killed the queen, because he delayed the third base for as long as he did, Fjant was forced into an all-in. And Clem, with his Reaper scout in the main, he saw the roaches, he saw the lair timing, he did recognize that something was wrong, and he had the wherewithal to check for the Nidus, did shut it down. GG, well played. But winding it all back, it all came down to his initial Reaper control. Because he dealt so much damage, that's why, the dominoes started falling one after the other. Likewise, you could argue that maybe Fjant was just a little bit too overeager with that first queen. Losing the first queen was kind of the beginning there for the game going in Clem's favor. And with that, game 1 goes the way of Clem. But now we're settling into game number 2. We're settling into game number 2. Let's go. This first group is going really fast paced. Yeah, it is. I was anticipating, like, a longer night, but at least group 1, like, we're not really getting many ace matches, even on the mainstream, like, even among some of these other series, like, and even if we're getting an ace match, like, I think Mana vs. Clem went to the ace match, but in general, it was still a shorter series and shorter games, which, living here in Australia, I'm not opposed to. I'm not opposed to the groups being a little bit shorter. I would like to sleep at some point. It'd be nice. For now, we're calming down and we're getting into game 2 and spawning in the top right-hand corner of Crimson Court. We have our French Terran player, the Red Terran, representing Team Liquid, leading the series 1-0. It is Clem. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the blue Zerg player representing Team Roddy for Lena, Sweden. It is Fjant. Hello? Oh my. Here we go. We do have a gas first opener, gas into pull into a delayed hatchery. Fjant being hyper-aggressive. I'm sure HomeStory Cup can find a way to fill time. I mean, if you remember, they do have a bunch of Kerrigan Oscars to award. Like, I'm sure they have I'm sure they have plenty of things to do. I think in most recent years, they have, like, out-of-game content a little bit less, but, like, they can have the players make some pizza, I'm sure they have other things to do. They have, like, Smash going on in the background. They can play Super Smash Bros. They can fill time. I wouldn't be surprised if they have like a show match planned for the SE Evo mod. Like, everyone's doing stuff with that. We're sending the drone across the map. We're going for a proxy. Let's go. Roach Warren has been thrown down. Drone, does barely hide itself from the SCV. Shout out to the Overlord. Did give the drone the heads up as to where the SCV was. And Fjant, show us the hatchery a little bit more. We are almost at 300 minerals. Where are we dropping? Let's go. Fjant expanding right outside the bases of Clem. I don't think I've seen this before. This specifically here on Crimson Court, taking the forward base with the Rich Vespine Gas Geyser. Because of the Reaper scouting path, we do miss the proxy, but the SCV does get a scout. Does realize what's going on. Clem is now aware, does zone away the Lings, gets 1 Ling so far, gets a 2nd Ling as well. Roaches are in production. Lings are in production as we do get a third Ling, get a fourth. Oh, we got all 4 Lings. 4 Lings go down, and I'm sure Clem can piece together what's going on. Behind this, bunker is ready on the low ground, bunker on the high. I appreciate the bunker on the high ground. I imagine the low ground is going to be compromised, but we're already setting up here to fall back to a further back position, to a more defensive position. Psycho production has begun. Second racks as well. We delay the starport. I love this as well. Just have it fixated on army units. Marines on Cyclones. Ravagers are revealed. Clem is preparing. Third racks on the way. Oh my god. Just nothing but army. So you see Fjant pushing forward, getting a couple of piles off. SV's a pull to repair. We focus on one of the Ravagers already goes down. First Ravager falls. We have 2 left. We have 2 left. Oh, another Roach will barely be able to escape. Fjant does keep it alive, denying the second bunker. But Clem is holding. Clem is holding on. This all-in so far has lost a lot of its teeth, has been forced back. But Fjant is completely all-in. There is no turning back from this. Lings are flooding across the map. Third Ravager has completed. Zoning away the Cyclone, going for the first bunker. The bunker will fall. There is a backup bunker. And now we're up to 2 Cyclones. Oof. And we can't break through this. It's not going to happen. With 2 Cyclones with a bunker, we are holding. And we focus on the Ravagers. The locals are insane. We're down to 3 Ravagers. One of them barely alive. Yeah, Lings are bleeding out. More Lings are on the way, but the longer this goes on, the easier it becomes for Clem. As we have a tank on the way. Yeah, no transfuse available. No creep, of course. Queen goes down. Lings melt. Ravagers as well. And Clem, he's going to shut this down. There's almost nothing left. GG gets caught, and Clem will take game number 2 in the series 2-0. GG. GG, well played. Congratulations here as Clem will take the series. I appreciate, again, the more unorthodox all-in out of Fjant, going for the proxy center base the way that he did. But Clem had a really strong start with the initial Reaper, shaved off not just 4 Lings, but also confirmed the proxy itself, confirmed the Ravager move out, was able to prepare back at home, got into additional Raxes, Cyclone production, just a really solid setup there for Clem, thanks to his scouting, of course. And Clem was able to shut it down. And not just, like, you know, the forewarning and the scouting, but also the control. The constant lock-ons on those Ravagers was crazy. Able to avoid wasting lock-ons on Lings. Able to focus on the Ravagers whenever he could. And as long as the Ravager count stayed low, Clem was under really no real danger there at the natural base. I'd assumed that Clem would lose control of the natural, would be forced back into the main, but again, we were just never able to really build up a Ravager count and really get things going. GG. GG, well played. Clem will take it, and with that, we're nearing the end of Group A. Like, we're almost done. There's 2 rounds left. Up next is going to be Clem in another TvZ against Eon Blue, and after that is going to be Eon Blue versus Hydra. So 2 more series left here in Group A. Quickly checking the bracket, though. Do we have another series available? Quickly double checking here. Quickly double checking. Okay, Eon Blue versus Ryung, I believe, is currently mid-series. Yeah, hold on. I have this technology. We can just switch our scenes.